Hello, this is Dantalian Jones. Today I'm going to discuss what is described as confusion patterns. A confusion pattern is a sentence that puts the listener into a momentary state of confusion where they become susceptible to your influence. I want to thank those people on the Mind Control 101 discussion group for suggesting this topic. If you want to join this group, I'll tell you more at the end of this video, and I've also provided a link below this video. Now, at the end of this video, you'll be asked to click the like button because it is informative, it's entertaining, mostly, and because I asked you. You're likely to get a few laughs from this one, so remember to share it with your friends too. The goal of this video is to show what a confusion pattern is, describe what it does, and give you a few ways to create some of your own. If you have some you want to share, post them in the comments section below. First, let's talk about why confusion patterns are useful. Whenever the mind is in a state of confusion, it searches desperately for something that makes sense. So when you're able to put someone in a momentary state of confusion, then tell them something that makes sense or give them a direction that they can understand, they'll latch on to it in order to relieve themselves from that state of confusion. What you can do as you're listening to these confusion patterns is simply notice what they do to your mind. That will likely be one of the best lessons you will get from this. With some people, you will literally see them freeze just for a moment. This is when they are trying very hard to make sense of what you just said. Thus, when you use confusion patterns, make sure you follow it immediately with something that makes sense and that they will latch onto like a lifeline. This could be a simple instruction like, close your eyes, or you're safe, stay right here. I'll start with what I call the 30-second hypnosis induction. I mentioned this in my book, Mind Control Language Patterns. This is a very useful phrase to say just before doing a regular hypnosis induction because it puts the mind in a very confused and receptive state. I'll say it, then go through the dissection of the sentence. Here it is. I want you to go ahead and remember back to yesterday when you knew that tomorrow you'd be in a trance right now. This is confusing to the listener because it messes with their ability to perceive time. It's not entirely clear at what point in time they are to mentally be placing themselves. So at the same time, they're in yesterday's memory, looking forward to tomorrow, which is today, and in fact, being in a trance right now. When I use this pattern, I immediately follow it with something like, you feel good, close your eyes, pay attention to my words. I would then immediately go into a traditional hypnotic induction. Here's another confusion pattern that was given to me by my co-trainer Jeff Stevens. I often wonder what things will be like when we were there. And here's another one that Jeff Stevens introduced me to. So, what have you guys been doing for the next 2 hours? I'd like now to give you a very simple instruction on how to build a confusion pattern. You may not be able to construct them on the fly. The process is relatively simple, and you could probably create a few just by sitting down with a paper and pencil. The confusion patterns that you've just heard all have something in common, namely that all the parts of each sentence make complete sense, but when they're brought together in one sentence, there is no context in which you can understand them. Let's take the very simple and short sentence that I've mentioned. I often wonder what things will be like when we were there. The first part of the sentence, I often wonder what things will be like, is simple and understandable enough. Likewise, the second half of the sentence, when we were there, also makes sense. It's when you combine them in a single sentence that they create confusion. So, with that very simple distinction, we can start to make our own confusion patterns. Here are a few that I've made up to fit this particular format. What will it be like to have the memories you remembered you had lost? Here's another one. How many times did I tell you to do that once? You can also create confusion by playing with the tenses of verbs. I don't remember how we will be after we've been there. Or, yesterday is a good time to begin now. Or, will you remember looking forward to that moment right now that you forgot? I hope this is enough for you to make some of your own confusion patterns. If you have some, post them in the comments below or send them to me. And by all means, use them on people and see what kind of reaction you get. I mentioned that I would tell you how to join the Mind Control 101 discussion group. It's pretty simple. Go to yahoo.com and in the search bar type Mind Control 101 group, and it will be the first link that pops up. The link is also provided for you below in the description of this video. What can you anticipate in the next Mind Control video? Lots of good stuff. If there's a topic that you'd like to cover, then post it in a comment or send me an email. I intend to cover some very interesting topics in the weeks to come. You can start looking forward to them right now. If you have any questions or want to learn more about language patterns, there's a link you will find below this video. Remember to like this video now and to share it with your friends because, like I said, it's informative, it's entertaining, mostly, and because I asked you.